Good evening, everyone. This is going to be my review for Ready Player One, directed by Steven Spielberg. Very appropriate, actually. So, quick synopsis. First of all, it's adapted from a book by Ernest Cline by the same title. First of all, it's about 2045 dystopia future. You know, the world's kind of crap everywhere. And so everyone's living in this virtual world with these like headsets that you wear over your eyes. And you have bodysuits too, called the Oasis. And the founder of the Oasis, before he died, like a few years before this, the movie takes place, he was a big nerd in the 80s. He loved video games and Atari and coin arcade games. Anyway, so he basically told the world that he put an Easter egg in the Oasis, and that you would need to find 3 keys to unlock the Easter egg. And whoever finds the Easter egg will inherit the Oasis, along with trillions of dollars. And so the entire world is trying to find these keys. So we actually follow one of the hunters. His name is Wade Watts, but in the Oasis he goes by Percival. And so it follows him and his 4 other friends who eventually they're the first ones to find the keys. And so there's this evil corporation called IOI, who is basically wants to run the Oasis, put ads everywhere, make it more marketable, and charge people to go on. Sound familiar, right? Anyway, so they have unlimited resources, and they're also trying to find it. So basically, it's these 5 teenagers or young adults versus this huge company and their leader Sorrento. And so the whole movie is all about just finding these keys, getting to the egg first. And also, you see the real life, what's going on there too, and the corporation trying to find them in real life to stop them as well. So it's actually a really fun type adventure. But the most fun with this is that the founder of the Oasis was obsessed with the 1980s. And so there are a ton of references to anything 1980s, basically, in the entire movie. So that's where a lot of the fun comes from. So that's the synopsis. Here is my review. First of all, I read the book a couple years back, and I was a huge fan of the book. And then when I heard that Steven Spielberg was directing this, I was just like, oh, this is going to be great. The screenplay is going to be written by the author of the book. So I was excited about that too. And I even reread the book the last week, actually finished it this morning right before I saw the movie. And I was so excited to see this movie. But also knowing that I'm an avid reader, when I was reading the book, I was realizing, I was like, how are they going to do these scenes in the movie? Because it's not very cinematic in a lot of the scenes and a lot of the challenges, and a lot of the hunts and everything. So I was very curious to see how that was translated. So this is spoilers, especially if you've read the book. This is going to be spoilers for the movie as well. First of all, the movie is different from the book. It is the same structure. It is the same world. It has the same spirit. There's a lot of things that are the same. That I was very happy that they kept with it. But they made some very artistic tweaks to it. And I actually didn't mind the changes. It's much like when I read Wicked and then I saw the play and I'm like, okay, 2 different stories going on here. But I enjoyed each of them in their own right, because it's hard to translate when you're doing live actors and when you're reading in a book. So the differences are... they're different. And when you read the book and you're watching the movie, you'll be like, this is so different. There's even a twist at the end that I didn't see coming because it wasn't in the book, but I really liked it in the movie. So I stepped back before I walked in. I'm like, okay, I know that they're not going to be able to do exactly. And just sitting there with the audience, I was just like, I was thoroughly enjoying it. I kind of liked the artistic differences in their own right, just because it was more cinematic and fun to watch. So I really liked it a lot, and what I loved about it was the audience was just laughing and enjoying it as much as I was. It's a great ride, and I really am glad that Steven Spielberg was the one directing it, because he had a lot of the creative rights to do it. But just go see it. I mean, it's fun, it's adventurous, and it makes that huge social comment on our future, what's going on right now. Everybody lives in their phones. Everybody does. And then when they make these points about living in reality and not living in, the oasis all the time, there's a big difference because reality is real. You have to step back and be like, how much time am I actually spending on the phone and not interacting with the people around me? And I'm not taking care of the world around me because I'm just focused on what's, on my screen. It's a message that really I think we need to hear right now. And at the same time, step back and see what they did in the past and how much fun it was, and we can do that now. Wow, I got really deep right there. I'm sorry. But anyway, go see the movie. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to compare it to almost like Jumanji, where it's just so much fun, and you just got to sit back and relax. The plot structure was a little loose, but the characters were enjoyable, and I loved one of the things I really loved watching on the screen, and you can't get this image in a book, is when you see people in the real world with, interacting in the oasis. And so you're just seeing them like do these fight moves in the middle of nowhere. And it's actually really, really funny. And thumbs up. Nice cinematography. Just overall great. The only thing I regret not knowing about going in here is in the book, there's a movie they have to live through in the book. And so I've watched that movie preparing for it. Actually, I lived through 2 different movies. But they lived through a different movie in the movie, and it's a movie I've never seen. And so I kind of was a little sad because I didn't understand all the references. I only know the iconic things I've seen from this very famous movie. But I didn't know but I was watching it with somebody who knew the movie that they were kind of living through, and he was like, oh no, not that. And I was just like, oh, darn it. I wish I kind of watched that movie before so I could have the same reaction. All right, anyway, this is like the longest one ever because I really love the source material. Finally, ranking. This is going to be a solid number 2 out of 12 movies. Oh, come on. I am going to watch this 10 times over more than I'm going to watch Molly's Game. But at the same time, I really like Black Panther. That story was solid. That this Marvel Universe, you can't... there's so much going on in Black Panther that I absolutely loved. But Ready Player One, it's solid too. All right, thanks everyone. I will see you next time.